guys, I'm here today to do a spoiler review of Robert Galbraith's Career of Evil. If you've been living under a rock, this is J.K. Rowling's pseudonym and her adult mystery series. So this is the third book in the series, so it's gonna kind of be a spoiler review, kind of not be a spoiler review. I'm not gonna do a written review about it, but this is just kind of my random thoughts. I did like it. I gave it 4 stars. It was a little bit, and if you are squeamish and don't like gory things, this might not be the book for you, because it is definitely squeamish, a lot, very, very gory, and the topic, which is violence against women, is heavily prevalent in this book, and it does get a little bit, I would say, sometimes it's hard to read. I will say that, but I really liked it. It was slow in some places, but I think that's just because of the topic. Basically, Cormoran Strike is the lead guy, and in like the first 3 chapters, his assistant Robin gets sent a severed leg, and at the bottom of it, it is a quote that is related to Cormoran Strike, and he's like, and when the police ask him, who do you think possibly could have done this? He gives them 3 names that he thinks possibly could have committed this crime based on the leg and people that he has dealt with in the past. So he and his assistant are on kind of a mission to find out who did this. The police are not super helpful, and a big secret is revealed about Robin. Robin really got a lot of airtime in this book, which was great and really interesting. And it kind of, the end of the book really kind of changed Robin and Cormoran's relationship. We still didn't really get a resolution. Robin did something that Cormoran was so against, and it looks like their partnership might be over by the end of this book, and that made me so sad, and I was like, oh my god. And the book ended, and they were kind of in a different situation, and I need to know what happened, so I'm definitely gonna read the book regardless. But this book, I think, was just, I was not as engaged in this book as I was in Silkworm and Cuckoo's Calling. But again, I think the topic, the violence against women, made me turn off. Also, this book also was different than the Cuckoo's Calling and Silkworm, because you got a point of view, or several chapters from the killer's point of view. You didn't know who it was, but you really got inside his head and got to see like what he was thinking. And for me, it kind of made me less sure who it was, and there was some instances where I was like, oh, maybe it's this guy. So the killer really was creepy, and his point of view chapters were probably the scariest, or if you like psychological mysteries, you would like this, because you kind of get into his head too, and then Cormoran's. But I really still enjoy and love Cormoran and Robin as characters. It's going towards a romantic path for both of them in this book. And for the first 2 books, I really didn't like that. I was really against it. But now that because this is the first time we got a chapter from Matthew's point of view, and Matthew is, or a few chapters from Matthew's point of view. Matthew is Robin's fiance, and the whole book is leading up to their marriage. A big secret is revealed about Matthew, and it's kind of puts a kibosh on it, but now, eventually, by the end, they were back at the chapel, and that's when Cormoran arrives, so I don't know what's going to happen. But I kind of got to see him in, like, a different light, and I'm not sure I like him, necessarily. But so I'm, Cormoran's getting my vote right now. But this book is so well done. It really is. Just, it was a little bit slow at points and very gory. But you know what? I think if you're doing a book about crimes against women, you need to go there. And she definitely did. But Cormoran is just a fun character to read about. And I think that, they're kind of intersecting, Robin and Cormoran are kind of intersecting in really different ways that I didn't expect when I first read this book. I did not see the killer coming. But there was a moment when I was like, oh no, that can't be the killer. Turns out when I said, oh, that can't be the killer, I was totally right. That was totally the killer. So she really slips things in, and she does stuff. She goes into like topics that I didn't even know existed in this book, which I thought was super interesting. And she uses her war vet, the history of Cormoran being a war vet, very interesting. And she also delved a lot into Robin's past in this book. So if you felt like in the past 2 books it wasn't Robin-centric, this book is definitely Robin-centric. I think it really focuses both on Robin's past and Cormoran's past due to what's happening now around them. And also, this book is also set in 2011, which we know is 2015. So this book had a lot of like topical references. This book was right around the time of the royal wedding, which I thought was super, super cool. So a lot of stuff that was like happening in 2011 was referenced in this book. But he's just surrounds himself with a bunch of random characters. I really, really love the series. If you love mystery, I highly recommend you check the series out. I really enjoyed Cuckoo's Calling. I really enjoyed The Silkworm. This was probably one of my, still very, very good, just not my favorite. But I hope you, just let me know if you guys have read it. She's really good. I can definitely see her touch on this now that I know she writes it. But I hope you guys, as always, like, comment below. Let me know, guys, have you guys read this? Have you guys read the other books in the series? But I'll talk to you guys later.